I have lots of motivation for you today with 2 out of 3 of my sons coming home for Yvonne's baby shower. I need to get laundry folded and my bedroom wiped down because my son and daughter-in-law and their 3 kids always stay in my bedroom. It's the only room big enough for the 5 of them. So we put Joanna in a pack and play. Nolan goes on the blue couch pulled out, and then Loie goes on a mattress on the floor. So I wanted to get the rug vacuumed and shampooed. I've been dying to get that rug shampooed, and I also have a grocery order coming in, so lots of motivation. And then after they leave, before I put the Rubbermaids with the toys away, I also want to get those decluttered. So let's get into it.
I had laundry that needed to be folded, and the last thing that I wanted with company coming was to have a basket full of clean towels that could be in the closet ready to be used. I know for some people it drives you a little crazy when you see my beach towels that go in with regular towels, but because they're older and they're quite thin, in fact, I think I've had these for like at least 10 years, not even lying. But because of that, they're very thin, and the girls like using them on their hair. But I actually just bought them cotton hair wraps because that's good for curly hair. So maybe we'll end up decluttering those at some point. But the old ones actually get used first because everybody likes them on their hair. Isn't that so funny? I have had a complicated relationship with laundry. When I had more kids at home, it was a struggle to keep up with the laundry. And then I started to see, I think it was Love Meg at the time, who she would just have everybody put their dirty laundry right in the washing machine in the morning, and then she would start the load when it was full. Well, you could imagine at the time we were doing night showers. So after the night showers, all the kids would put all of their clothes and any towels that needed to be washed right in the washing machine. I would start the washing machine at night. Then in the morning, I would switch it over to the dryer. And if anybody was doing anything during the daytime, they would be putting their laundry right in the washing machine. And so doing that one load a day was really my salvation of not being behind on laundry. And then I had everybody take a laundry day. So once everyone got older, they each were assigned a day, and that was when they did their laundry. And I would ask, please put your towels in the washing machine, but keep your clothes for laundry day. Well, you can imagine that had mixed results. So ever since then, honestly, they've been doing their own laundry, but I do have a hard time getting people to put their towels in. So a lot of times their towels don't end up getting put in with my laundry. They end up staying in their bedroom. And, that works out okay. We do have enough towels that we don't run out of towels. But now I have found that doing it every day, it just kind of interrupts my flow. When I'm trying to get more videos up, I'm trying to get editing. So now I'm kind of waiting again, since everybody is doing their laundry. I'm doing laundry every few days instead of every day. So there's been lots of transitions. This is the white comforter that I just got. And I had hoped to get to show you the comforter, the throw blanket, and the picture over my bed. But you'll see the throw blanket here in just a second, and I'm still trying to nail down. I know I want a beach scene over my bed, but I'm still nailing down exactly which one, and I don't want to spend a lot of money on it either. But I am sure I'm going to enjoy having this white comforter on the bed. I did fold it up and put it away while I had company, since I knew that the kids were going to pile in bed with parents, and it was brand new and also, of course, pure white.
So glad I got the king size, because honestly, if it was a smidge bigger, I'd be even happier. Then I got this, and I'm not taking it out of the bag because I'm returning it from Wayfair. It's like a throw blanket. It's too orangey. I expect it to be more on the pink side. I wanted it to be like a coral color, and this says coral salmon, I think. Well, it says salmon here, but then on the tag, it was like coral salmon. But here's the thing. In my inspiration picture, it would have been light blue with coral pillows and light blue pillows. And then I made a mistake and I bought a coral throw, and I'm like, oh, that's fine. But actually, since I want a blue ocean wall hanging here, then a blue
throw blue pillows with coral pillows behind. So I'm kind of glad it happened because now I have I wouldn't have returned it, but now I have an excuse to return it because I'm not doing a burnt orange. That's what that looks like to me. It's giving burnt orange. So I'm kind of glad it was like not the same color it looked like online, honestly. But I am super happy with this. $25. I mean, you know, I always put in, I've been looking for a while, and I put in comforter sale. So that's what I do. Whenever I'm looking for something and doing shopping online, I'll go to Google and I'll put in whatever the item is and then the word sale and get any stores that have them on a discount. And that works out great for me.
I really don't mind cooking for company. It's just what to cook. So I found this new enchilada recipe. It was an enchilada chili recipe. And I'd asked them, my son, do they eat beans? And he was like, well, we don't buy beans, but we eat them. So I kind of felt like that meant maybe they don't like beans. So what I kind of, this particular recipe called for a can of chili beans and then another can of black beans. So I substituted the black beans for chicken. But I did overcook the chicken a little bit and it was kind of dry, so I probably will never do that again. If I did, I would just keep it to the beans, honestly. And then so they were coming in at night. We had supper together, and then the next day, all I had to do was give them breakfast. So I got that all taken care of because my son and daughter-in-law don't even eat breakfast. Kids will eat the waffles, and then the shower would be the baby shower would be our lunch, and then my other son would be here for that supper. And I was going to cook for them. They have a lot of sensitivities. I ended up ordering out Chinese food, so it wasn't too bad. And then, of course, we have plenty of food left over from that grocery haul to go through the next week or so. So, yeah, that's kind of what we did.
This is $300 in groceries. Start with my guilty pleasure, Dr. Pepper Zero. My daughter's dairy-free chocolate chips, the best dairy-free chocolate chips ever. Some quick oats, potatoes, Dunkin' decaf K-Cups, enchilada sauce for a enchilada chili I want to make. We got rice wrappers. This is stuff my daughter asked for. And gluten-free wraps, pecans, Gas-X, extra strength Tylenol, dates, sweet potatoes, and brown lentils. Now for this recipe I'm also going to make, I got chili beans. Then we got red pepper flakes because we just need them. For Yvonne, we got these peanut butter biscuits that she's been eating for breakfast. And then Rachel had asked for oat milk. I've been using decaf cold brew for my Optivia shakes. And then some 99% fat-free ground turkey and 96% lean ground sirloin. We have garbanzo beans, 3 cans, and then 3 cans of black beans. Some toilet cleaner, 1 for each bathroom. Diet Coke, because my son and his family are coming for Yvonne's shower. And then black olives, in case I do pizzas for the kids, because I know my grandson loves black olives. Yvonne has been eating the yogurt, so there's 8 for her. And then veggie broth, also for my chili. Cheddar cheese for the chili, mozzarella, apple juice for the kids, milk for the kids. We have some Mexican-style corn for the chili. I also got this Mexican street corn frozen that I thought I might try. We have light sour cream, also when we have the chili. Light sour cream, cottage cheese. Did I say apple juice for the kids? Oh, and this is the ramen that Crecia and Yvonne like. Rachel had asked me for some rice noodles. Also, we have jasmine rice. Can't have too much of that. Some eggs, because these are the cheapest ones at my grocery store at $3.99 a dozen right now. Some carrot sticks for the kids for snacking. And then they like to have waffles in the morning with fruit. So we have strawberries and raspberries. Yvonne's loving these apples right now. My husband's loving the cashews. Then I have 3 limes because if we're going to do Mexican food, we need limes because we love to squeeze. And then also for the chili, green bell peppers, 2 of those. Now for the snack section, Coke for when we have company to go with the Diet Coke, and also some caramel rice cakes, animal crackers, gluten-free pretzel sticks, and popcorn.
I got the groceries put away, and then out of sheer determination, I'm up here, I'm vacuuming, and then I'm going to shampoo the rug. So my plan is to vacuum, and then I'm vacuuming over here beside the bed so that I can move furniture over in this spot where there is no rug and get the furniture off the rug so that I can get as much of the rug as possible. The only thing I missed was underneath the blue couch. And I thought, well, that's not a big deal because it's been under the couch, so there wouldn't be any dirt. Unfortunately, I forget that this rug used to be in a different room when the girls had it in their bedroom. And so when I move the blue couch, yeah, there is a dirty spot, but I will just get it next time. It's okay. It's okay. And we had so many beds down on the floor, they would have never known. And if for nothing else, I feel like there's like a fresh smell that you get when you shampoo the carpet, and it still feels really clean, and I am super glad about that. I also dusted the furniture, got everything wiped down. That always feels good. And then the shelves behind that gray curtain is where I put my laptop and different things that we wouldn't want to have to worry about the kids, playing with or getting into, because they got excited about, sleeping in Grammy's room. And so they go up the stairs, 5 or 6 times just to kind of look at their bed and see the whole layout. And of course, their mom and dad is right in our bed, which is a queen size. And so all the family staying in one room, I would imagine for the kids, it's a lot more fun for the kids than it probably is for the adults. Our youngest, Joanna, she is 1.5 years old, and she's cutting some molars. She was not sleeping great at all, and I always feel so bad when that happens, when they come and then one of the kids doesn't sleep. But they're just so laid back. They took it in stride. It was such a great weekend, and I will show you some of the pictures at the end of this video of the baby shower, so definitely stay tuned for that. One of the blessings of having them in my bedroom is I do all these extra cleaning chores, and then after they go, I get the blessing of it all being nice and clean. So I'm just kind of looking around going, okay, I was looking for my paper towel. I wanted to dust the bottom of this rocking chair. So I have been using this rocking chair more and more as it is in my room, and I've been enjoying it. So I'm glad we brought it up here. I kind of went back and forth on it. I don't want to get too much furniture up here, but it is nice to have like one spot that's a sitting area, one spot that is my office, and then our bed. I still go back and forth about putting my office back in our 3-season porch for the spring, summer, and fall. So you never know, just when you think you got me figured out, I might just change my mind. But for now, I'm pretty content. Actually, I probably will stay up here because I don't want to have to walk through somebody's bedroom to get to my office, especially since I like to start working bright and early, and teenagers, they don't tend to get up bright and early if they're not working early. So since the ones who sleep in that other adjoining room are in retail, they have crazy hours. So yeah, that probably wouldn't be a great idea. I guess I will stay up in my bedroom. We actually have electric heat in the upstairs of our house. Not ideal, but we make it work. So it's fine. I'm just getting getting things dusted, anything that I see on the floor wiped up. And then there is my cleaner. I do love this carpet cleaner. This is a Bissell. But here's my complaint. I don't care what kind of vacuum you have. I always love to see the canister like on my Dyson and how much dirt it picked up. The same with my Shark because it has the canister that you empty. Both of them do. But no matter what you get up with your vacuum, there's always plenty left behind, especially if you have cats or dogs. And so the cat hair just does not completely come out of the carpet ever. And I always find myself having to stop with the carpet cleaner and kind of get it unclogged from all of the cat hair. So, and it even kind of balls up, and it says morning. Yeah, you can see I almost put it on my white comforter, and they're like, "What are you doing, girl? Do not do that." It says right on the steam cleaner, or it's not a steam cleaner, but right on the carpet cleaner, not to use it as a vacuum, like to vacuum first, which I do, and I try to slow vacuum, but I always have to stop a few times and get it unclogged. Then the reservoir that takes all of the dirty water, you can only fill it so far, not all the way to the top, before you have to empty it or it'll stop working. And that did end up happening to me at the end, but my husband wasn't home, so I couldn't really figure out why it wasn't continuing to wash. And it was because it was more than halfway full in the dirty water reservoir, but there was very little to finish up, so it worked out perfectly fine. And what you do is, when you're going forward, it's laying down the water and soap, and when you're pulling back, it's sucking it back up, and then it has the rollers. And so then, after you've done all that, it's sucking it up too, so it's not supposed to be super soaked. But then you can put it on just dry, and it's only sucking. And so you do that at the end, but then it's still damp. You know, it's not going to be dry, and you certainly don't want people walking on it when it's damp. So what I always do, you'll see, is I lay down towels in our walk path. That way, if someone needs to get in the room before the carpet is dry, they can walk on the towels. I am really not a huge fan of rugs. First of all, I feel like allergens and everything kind of gets in the rug. I feel like when you have a plain floor, like for years I had plain maple wood floors, and I enjoyed the ease of cleaning where you could vacuum or sweep and then mop, and it just felt like there's no hidden dirt like there is in a carpet, but then it's not very cozy. And so we ended up getting area rugs, and the reason I chose an area rug was I felt like when it gets really bad, you can always get rid of it and get a new area rug much easier than if you have like wall-to-wall carpeting that needs to be installed. So I looked up on Google to see what would Google tell me about carpet care. And here's what it said. It said vacuum regularly, at least twice a week, and daily in high traffic areas to remove surface dirt and prevent it from settling deep into the fibers. Clean spills and stains promptly with the spot cleaner or a mixture of water, baking soda, and vinegar to prevent them from becoming permanent. Now, I will say that if you had your carpets treated with a stain guard or Scotch guard, then a lot of times when you treat it, you're actually removing that, lifting that. Have you ever had it where there were stains in the floor and you have it cleaned and then it goes away, but then over days it kind of lifts from the bottom up again, if you know what I mean? So, yeah. It says deep clean professionally. Obviously, I'm not a professional, and I am deep cleaning right now. Have your carpets professionally deep cleaned every 12 to 18 months to remove embedded dirt and grime. That seems like a good idea if you can do it. Use mats and runners. Strategically place mats and runners near high traffic areas to trap dirt and prevent it from being tracked into the carpet. Okay, here I am getting the hair out. It was part my hair, part cat hair. What can I say? It says encourage residents to remove their shoes at the entrance to minimize dirt being tracked onto the carpet. I used to be a lot better at this, but as I've grown older, because I have back trouble, then I needed to have my own shoes on. And I would go through times where I would have indoor shoes and outdoor shoes and kind of be like Mr. Rogers and put my indoor shoes on when I was indoors. But you know, that just wasn't sustainable. Look at all this junk that's coming from under that, all the hair and stuff. So when it comes to shoes, you just have to do your best. If you have an HVAC, you have to change those filters, air filters regularly to trap dust and allergens before they settle on the carpet. Brush and bathe pets frequently to minimize dander and hair on the carpet. Use furniture protectors under heavy items to prevent indentations and flattening of carpet fibers. Well, I feel like even if you use furniture protectors, you still get flattening and indentations. And even when you're using like, what did they say before? Mats and runners, You're also going to get flat spots from that. I mean, there's just no way to completely protect your carpet. Consider using a carpet protector to prevent stains. Now, I don't even know what that would be. Let's see. No, it doesn't say. And let's see. Different carpet types require different cleaning methods. It's important to understand your carpet's composition. So I definitely think there are some who are better at this than others. I am not I try to be clean, but I wouldn't say, like my mom, it just seemed like things didn't dare to get dirty around her. Do you know what I mean by that? But she was also really good at picking out carpets and such that didn't show dirt. Now, I will say this carpet has a white base, but it's white with gray, and it has a little beige in it. It's like that antique-y feel. And part of the reason I went with gray was I was thinking the cat hair wouldn't show on it, which is actually what happened. The cat hair does not show on it. Same with my couch. You just get furniture and such that is the same color as your animals. And then their hair doesn't show quite as much. I went to bestreviews.guide to see what are the best carpet cleaners from 2024. And you're going to be surprised when you get to number 1 because I'm pretty positive that the price point of number 1 is just about $100. Look how dirty that was, by the way. So number 10 was the Hoover Power Dash Pet Carpet Cleaner. Number 9, the Bissell Big Green Professional Carpet Cleaner with XL Dirt Lifter. Number 8, Rug Doctor Mighty Pro X3 Commercial Carpet Cleaner. Number 7, Shark Carpet Cleaner Machine Portable Upholstery Stain Striker. Number 6, the Bissell Pro Heat 2x Revolution Pet Pro Plus. So that one would be kind of like mine. Number 5, Shark Carpet Expert Hair Pro with Stain Striker Upright Carpet Cleaner. These are all uprights. Number 4, Hoover Power Scrub Deluxe Carpet Cleaner Machine. Number 3, Bissell Little Green Pet Deluxe Portable Carpet Cleaner. Number 2, Bissell Turbo Clean Power Brush Pet Carpet Cleaner. That's an upright. And number 1, the Bissell Little Green Multi-Purpose Portable Carpet and Upholstery Cleaner. You guys, I see that on sale like Black Friday sale and different sales all the time. And I know it's not over $180. In fact, I kind of feel like it can hover around $100, $110. Am I wrong? We got to look this up. So I was doing my laundry and I decided I needed to, which you're going to see me do in a minute. I'm folding another load of laundry. I'm going to declutter these face cloths in just a minute because I had bought some new face cloths, some that were gray, some that were beige, because that's kind of what I'm going with in the upstairs bathroom. So then I thought, well, if some are really bad, then I can get rid of them. But isn't that crazy about the carpet cleaners? Because that little upholstery one is like a little I just looked it up. The
handheld
Bissell Little Green
that you
multi-purpose
can get right
portable
on Amazon.
carpet and upholstery cleaner on Amazon is $99.99. And it even comes with 1 bottle of the cleaner. And you can use it on it's multi-purpose. It would be hard to use on a carpet to do like what I just did because it's more like for your furniture or car detailing. You could use it on the stairs, but it has a very small head. So I can't even imagine how long it would take to do a whole carpet with that. You would need to get an upright. So the upright, let's see, whoops, I need to go back there. The best upright, which was it? It was the Bissell Turbo Clean Power Brush Pet Carpet Cleaner. So I'm going to go to Amazon here. So here you see I'm decluttering my face cloths and I was also cutting any threads off to kind of preserve them. Okay, so the one oh my goodness, the best upright, the Bissell Turbo Clean Power Brush Pet Cleaner was $113.29. That is very inexpensive. Okay, I'm spraying the Norwex mattress cleaner on my mattress cover. Not the best idea. Look how it sprayed. It doesn't have the best spray, but I did it. It dried. It dried fine. But having a mattress cover, total game changer. And as you can see, it has a little bit of padding on it. I'm looking at the camera to make sure my camera's on. I have to do that once in a while because every once in a while I will forget to turn my camera on. And it's really discouraging to like clean for an hour and then you realize you didn't turn your camera on, right? Well, it's not like another type of video, like a talking head video. You would just start over. But what are you going to do? Mess up your room again and then re-clean it? No, no one's going to do that. You just miss all of it and it's just the saddest thing ever. Fortunately, I have 2 sets of sheets from my bed. So what I did was I got out fresh sheets from under my bed where I keep them and put that on for my son and daughter-in-law. And then I took my sheets that we were using, popped them in the washing machine. And then when they came out, we have a spare queen mattress that we put on a bed frame. And that goes in the 3-season porch for my husband and I. And I was able to get that bed made up. And then I always keep spare pillows around. And if I don't have spare pillows, then usually I'll buy some pillows. And then if anybody is needing new pillows, then after the guests leave, they can take those new pillows. Is pretty much how we do it. So I'm just getting that done. I did have some extra sheets, I realized, and some extra pillowcases. So I need to go through those. I might need to declutter some of those at some point because I notice we are not hard on pillowcases. It's only the fitted sheet. The fitted sheet is the one that always gets a hole in it first, just from being tugged and pulled. As you can see, my mattress is really thick, and then I have the mattress cover on top of it to boot. So I find that the fitted sheet is the one that doesn't last, but pillowcases, they last forever. And of course the top sheet. What would be a reason a top sheet would even wear out? But it's that bottom fitted sheet. Also, I know a lot of people gave up the top sheet. Do you use a top sheet on your bed? I do, and I'll tell you why. It's a barrier between my body and the comforter, and I don't want to be washing my comforter all the time. So I do wash the comforter once in a while, but I certainly don't want to be washing it as frequently as I would wash a sheet. Does that make sense? You let me know if you gave up your top sheet. How often now are you washing the blanket that touches your body? I don't know. I know that we in the United States can be can be clean freaks just a little bit. I don't know. It just feels like we can be. We can stretch to that level. So I don't want to be a freak about it, but the thought of going without a top sheet just makes me wonder, what are you doing? How often are you going to then wash your comforter, or do you just not mind popping your comforter in the washing machine frequently? Inquiring minds need to know. In this moment, I got my bed done, and then it was time to go home and go down the stairs. I say go home maybe because that's my office. Was that a Freudian slip? No, it was time for me to go downstairs, make dinner. After dinner, then Yvonne helped me make the rest of the beds, and she helped me kind of get things all finished up, which I really appreciated because I was tired. I didn't even set my camera up again. And then once everybody came, I still have things that need to be put away. I'm just kind of slowly pecking away at it. You know, you have all the motivation in the world to get everything out, but I am also trying to package it all better than I did at Christmas time. At Christmas time, I was just so tired. I did not care. And now, like with the toys and stuff, I'm going to do a quick declutter. And even with the blankets and the sheets, just making sure I get things kind of in those vacuum packed bags, but more in a packet. So one bed per bag, and that makes it easier every time we have company to know what we're taking out and what needs to stay.
I wanted to go through the toy bins as I was repacking them up again. I knew there'd be a few things that I could get rid of. I like to do that, and then I need to like kind of restock a little bit, so that might be up and coming. But it just felt good to get those toys decluttered.
Sometimes I feel like I have a lot for the kids, and sometimes I feel like I have not very much at all. And when I was doing it this time, I felt like I really actually don't have a lot. Some of the games and stuff I got at Christmas time, it's going to be a bit before they can really take full advantage of those. And I do keep my eye out whenever I'm at Goodwill, but I feel like I need to be a little bit more intentional. We have some doll stuff, some tea party stuff, and then some cars, that sort of thing, and then Play-Doh. I love doing Play-Doh with the kids because it's very messy, And so it's a good thing to do with grandma, I would like to get more messy things that they could do with grandma because I feel like, they're always with me for a short time. And so we can all sit at the table together and do it and then just clean it up. And it's not a big deal. Whereas, when you're the busy mom running around, although my daughter-in-law is so good about that sort of thing, but it can be harder as the mom to want to pull all that out when you have a busy day. There were a few things in there that I was like, I don't even know where that came from. There were some extra crayons and such, but I thought while I'm doing this, and I'll show the camera things I'm getting rid of, and I was missing lids, I've got to get sippy cups back together and just figure out what I have and what I need, because I really do like to be stocked. So it can be really super hard for kids to declutter, and some are better at it than others. The rules apply for adults to kids. They're going to have decision fatigue, and they're probably going to get it quicker than an adult would, right? So you have to always be mindful of that. Definitely starting on, maybe right before a birthday, right before Christmas, when they know new stuff is going to come in, is a great time to declutter toys. And start with what we would start with. Start with trash. Start with odds and ends, like I'm getting rid of this type of Play-Doh in favor of the traditional Play-Doh. But start with things that are missing pieces, broken toys. Those can be very easy for building confidence. And then you can make it fun. You can set a timer. You can have a yard sale. So all of the toys that are either donatable or sellable, if you were to have a yard sale, then you could have a fun family event, like go to a movie, go out for an ice cream or something like that with the money that they make from the yard sale rather than buying more toys. Also, I feel like preventing the problem by limiting what comes in the house can also be a great rule of thumb. And of course, a lot of people talk about one in, one out. I know lots of people rotate toys. I used to take toys out of the rotation and just put them in the basement, stuff that they weren't playing with, but I knew if I asked, do you want to get rid of this, they would say no. So I'd put it in the basement. If they didn't ask for it for a year, then I would get rid of it. But at the same time, that did backfire on me once. I had somebody ask, my son asked for his Toy Story soldiers, and I had gotten rid of them. So more the direct approach, I think, is better. But definitely, if you're there, you've done the broken toys and the missing pieces, and then kind of holding it up to them, keep it, get rid of it, keep it, get rid of it. And they can just kind of tell you rather than them going through it. I definitely think it's hard for most children to declutter on their own. It's a pretty rare firstborn kid usually that can declutter on their own. They really need input from mom or dad or an older brother or sister. But I definitely see that if it's a regular occurrence over time, then kids do get stronger at it. And if you hear of something going on in the neighborhood, let's say that there was a house fire or something, here I'm just putting, I'm putting different toys in Gladlock bags and games to keep everything all together, and then it's easier when we pull it out again. But anyway, I can remember when I was a kid, there was someone we knew and there was a house fire. And I even gave up my favorite teddy bear because I realized that there was a child that had nothing. And kids have such big hearts for those that are struggling. So definitely donating in a very intentional way, I think, can help kids to have motivation to declutter. And I also think that if they have an opportunity to do a yard sale, that can be a very fun way that gives kind of a reward for what they got rid of. That can also be something that is very motivating for them. One thing to remember is it might not be a treasure to you, but their things are as much a treasure to them as your treasured things are to you. And it may not be something we can understand why they're holding on, but there might be some sentimentality behind it that we're just not aware of and they're not able to express. I promise you, though, at some point, they're going to be willing to get rid of their things. I have one child in particular who holds on to things, and it really wasn't until he got married and was moving into a place of his own that he really And actually, I kind of held on to it in his first apartment. And then when he was moving further away, all of a sudden he was really getting rid of things that even shocked me that I thought would be sentimental and he would want to hang on to. So eventually they're going to get rid of things. And you can let space, kind of define it. Like I had one child who was always drawing, and he had, like, honestly, he would go through 1,000 sheets of paper every month, because I would buy 3,000 sheets in a box at Staples and it would last him 3 months. And so what I had to do was get him a box, a big Rubbermaid box, and he was allowed to keep what went in the Rubbermaid, and then he had decisions to make. And I was available to help him make the decisions, but you can let a container be the rule of thumb, like whatever fits in this container you can keep, and then we have decisions to make. And then just kind of coming in with those solutions of intentional donation or selling to kind of help them to let go of things. So funny story, my Keep It kid, I tried to get rid of a soldier, or it was like a superhero, and because he was missing a leg, and he told me that I was discriminating against the handicapped. And he did. Well, that was a good reason, and I let him keep the toy. So I have some bigger Play-Doh and then some mini Play-Dohs. At first I was going to get rid of the mini Play-Dohs, but all of them were still in really great shape. So I had this container that had like the foam dough. I don't know what it's called, but I got rid of it. You'll see it on the couch at the end of this. I show you what I got rid of. So I kept all those mini cans because they were still in really great shape. And we do really have fun. You can get the kids the safety scissors and the safety knives, the kid knives, and they can really have fun just cutting and pretending to cook. And we get the cookie cutters out and all those things. But this time I wanted to have it very well labeled, because there were some things in that box before and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't find them. And then I am going to take the kid dishes and put them in my kitchen island, where normally I was storing them in the basement. So those are the kid dishes. They're going to go under my island in the kitchen. And then I have 2 boxes of activities and toys. Some are games, some are toys. And then 1 box of the big Play-Doh that doesn't go in the Rubbermaid. And then we had the doll bed and a little walker. Now that was missing its lid, so I was going to get rid of that. So those other toys that are going back in the basement. And then you're going to see on the couch all of the things I'm getting rid of. And now let's see some pictures of the shower. The church did every single thing for us. They did all of the decorating. They let Yvonne pick out the decorations, and she picked the Winnie the Pooh theme, and they got all of the stuff for us. All we had to do was walk in. They did every bit of the food, and she just looks so pretty. Look at her in that green dress, and she had a silk press on her hair, and so that made her feel super good. Her hair is so long. That is all her natural hair. And my daughter-in-law Brittany helped her by writing down the gifts and what she got from everyone. And there's Loie with the white bow, and then there's Nolan, and Yvonne just got so many great things. It was such a blessing of a day.
So I have told myself I will not film another thing until I get back down in that basement. So there's going to be some decluttering coming your way. I was going to get rid of everything. I just was like, I'm getting rid of everything. And then I went downstairs and I was looking around. I was like, ooh, it's actually still harder than I would like to admit. But I feel like another layer of stuff is definitely going to be leaving the house. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you're new. I would love it. Put some joy in your step with that. And remember, as always, God loves you and I love you too. And I can't wait to see you next time.